audience member.
Dude, what's up?
Dribble, shoot, pass, rebound, travel, foul, score. If these words ring a bell, you probably have a love for the sport like I do, and can appreciate that your team becomes your family. The ball becomes your friend, and the court becomes your home, and the game becomes your life. However, if none of these words are familiar to you, then you probably have no passion or knowledge of the popular sport of basketball. Basketball is one of America's favorite sports and dates back to the late 1800s, which has proven to also be an integral part of the American culture. In this paper, I will explain the sport of basketball, when and who started the sport, a little bit of the history, and how it affects American culture today. Let's begin by talking about the sport of basketball entails. Basketball is a sport played on a court with two teams of 5 players. The ultimate goal of the game is to outscore your opponent by shooting and scoring it through an 18-inch hoop, which is connected to a backboard on either end of the court. A team can score a field goal by shooting the ball through the hoop that is being defended by their opponent. 3 points are awarded to a shot behind the designated 3-point line. 2 points are awarded to a shot within the designated 3-point line, and 1 point is awarded for every free throw that is made given a foul or technical was called for whatever reason. The ball is advanced up the court through dribbling the ball or passing to teammates. Dribbling is using your hands and pounding the ball to the floor continuously. Once a player ceases their dribbling, they must pass or shoot to avoid a double dribble call and a turnover. Along with not dribbling again, a player must ensure that one foot, their pivot foot, remains glued to the court to avoid a traveling call and a turnover. This may seem like a lot of rules, but I assure you that basketball is a lot simpler than it seems. Now that you have a little bit of information on what basketball is, let's look into who and how basketball was invented. Basketball-type games have been played as early as 500 years ago by the Olmec people from ancient Mexico. The Aztec and Mayan cultures also played a game similar to basketball, but instead of balls, they used skulls of their enemy cultures. The sport was officially invented in Springfield, Massachusetts in 1891. James Naismith was a Canadian physical education teacher who was in search of a sport that was much less injury-prone than football and a sport that could be also conveniently played indoor in case of bad weather. The equipment used in the first sport was peach baskets and a ball similar to a soccer ball. The goal of the game was to throw the soccer ball into the fruit baskets, which were nailed up. Naismith created 13 rules of the game, which included things as basic as the ball may be thrown in any direction with one or both hands. The time shall be 15-minute halves with 5-minute rest between, and the umpire shall be the judge of the men and shall note the fouls and notify the referee when 3 consecutive fouls have been made. Eventually, Naismith would go on to coach Kansas Jayhawks, which is one of the most successful basketball programs in the United States. History of basketball. The first basketball game was played within Naismith's gym class on December 21st, 1891. However, the first public basketball game was played on March 11th, 1892, also in Springfield, Massachusetts. It was played with the original baskets and soccer-like ball that Naismith had originally used. The peach baskets were used up until 1906 and were replaced by metal hoops with backboards. The YMCA played a huge role in spreading basketball throughout the world. They created leagues and hosted games. The First World War had begun, so hundreds and thousands of troops played basketball in their free time. The first ever professional basketball league was started in 1898. The Celtics, one of the original pro teams, are considered the fathers of basketball. Colleges then began to create teams. One of the first college basketball programs was at Vanderbilt University. The second recorded organized college basketball game included a team from the New Brighton YMCA, which is ironic considering my name is Brighton. After the formation of college teams, high school, international, and professional leagues were formed. Basketball continued to be a popular sport and eventually evolved in the sport that is today. Today, basketball is one of the world's most popular sports. This is mostly due to the National Basketball Association, also known as the NBA. The NBA was established in 1949 and has grown into a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. A large part of the popularization of basketball can be equated to some iconic stars that played or still play in the NBA. Michael Jordan and LeBron James are two of the most well-known stars in the NBA and modern world. International players within the NBA also have popularized the sport overseas. For example, Yao Ming was able to influence basketball in China. Thus, basketball continues to be an influential aspect of the United States and the world through creating connections. In conclusion, basketball is one of Americans' favorite sports and dates back to the late 1800s, which has proven to also be an integral part of the American culture. In this paper, I explain the sport of basketball, when and who started the sport, a little bit of history, and how it affects American culture today. Sorry about the abrupt ending, but it looks like I have to get to practice.
Probably got to count me on a couple times there.